Hello, and welcome to Rising Phoenix, where you can find information, tools, and hope for everyday mental health struggles. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about depression, what it is, and how to manage it. Most of you have probably seen the advertisements for antidepressant medications, featuring a dark shadow following someone around, and usually listing off numerous symptoms of depression. Unfortunately, depression is a very common and often debilitating mental illness. Most people experience some mild, undiagnosable depression at some point in their life, and many people experience more severe depression affecting their day-to-day life for weeks or even years. So what is depression? Well, that's a complicated question, but I'll do my best to provide a simple, generalized answer. Depression can include numerous symptoms, but the most common include sadness, low energy, loss or changes in appetite, loss of interest in activities, irritability, difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, brain fog, and suicidal thoughts. We are still learning a lot about what is going on in the brain when it comes to depression. However, the current understanding is that depression involves a deficiency in certain neurotransmitters, the chemicals that the brain uses to communicate between brain cells. Not having enough of one of these neurotransmitters results in the brain not functioning properly, and therefore becoming depressed. Anecdotally, it seems that the depressed brain wants to stay depressed. That is to say, that depression is difficult to treat because it is constantly feeding itself negativity. If you have or have had depression, you probably understand what I mean. When you are depressed, negative thoughts about yourself and the world just come naturally, and it can be incredibly difficult to think anything positive. But depression can be treated successfully, and there are many things that you can do to help yourself feel better. First, be sure to manage your diet, exercise, and sleep well. If you haven't seen this video on anxiety, please check it out because it talks all about managing diet, exercise, and sleep for mental health. Make sure you are eating regularly and eating healthy food. If the brain isn't getting good energy, it can lead to depression and make it more difficult to recover. Try to get about 8 hours of sleep each night. Talk to a sleep specialist if you're having difficulty getting to sleep or staying asleep. Finally, get regular exercise. Walk, run, ride a bike, play with your pet, play croquet, anything that you can to get moving. I can't emphasize enough how important exercise is for mental health. Next, start your day with taking care of yourself. Get up, make your bed, take a shower, and put on clothes that you like. Then, try to do at least one productive thing each day. When you do this, you are communicating value to yourself, and this can help you feel less depressed. Try to avoid staying home in your bed in your pajamas all day. This usually exacerbates the depression. Talk to a friend or loved one. Sometimes it's helpful just to be able to talk about how you're feeling. Our friends can help us reality check our thoughts and feelings. When you're depressed, you're often viewing the world through dark lenses. Friends and loved ones can help you see reality more clearly if you allow it. Then, if you're comfortable with it, ask them for a hug. Safe physical touch can be incredibly healing. Another thing you can do is, every day, write down 5 things that you like about yourself, or you're grateful for. This may be incredibly difficult at first, but I encourage you to persist. When your brain is depressed, it is focused on the negative things in life. If you can, choose to intentionally focus on the positive things about yourself and the world around you. It helps retrain and heal your depressed brain. Next, identify and confront your negative thoughts. As I've already mentioned, negative thinking is prevalent in the depressed brain. It is helpful to learn to identify negative thoughts and ask yourself, is this really true? And try to look at the evidence that does and does not support it. Most of the time, if you are able to be honest and objective, you discover that the thought is not really true. Then you can work to integrate a more realistic, positive thought in place of the negative one. For example, you might find that you often think to yourself, I'm such a failure. If you look at the evidence objectively, you will find that there are surely things that you have failed at, but it is also most certainly not everything. Therefore, you are not truly a failure. Thus, a more realistic and positive way of thinking about yourself might be, I'm human, I make mistakes, and that's okay. I can do better next time. Consistently changing your negative thoughts will eventually help your brain learn to think more positively and become less depressed. You can also talk with a psychiatrist or medical doctor about medication. I recommend finding someone who specializes in depression so you can be sure they are assessing and prescribing the right medication for you. Medication can help you by adjusting and rebalancing the neurotransmitters in your brain. There are usually side effects to medication, so be sure to weigh the pros and cons before you start. Get connected with a counselor or psychologist who can help you. A counselor can help you learn tools and skills that can change the way you feel and think. They can also provide a safe place to talk about what you are going through and give you hope. Finally, it is common when you're depressed to think about taking your own life. You may think that life is pointless or even that you're a burden on everyone else. This is your depressed brain speaking. It's not true. I'm going to say it again because I need you to hear me. Those thoughts are not true. The truth is that there are people in your life who care about you and want you around. It may not seem like it, but it is true. Every person who takes their own life leaves behind a wake of pain and sadness, a wake that is much larger than you can imagine. What you are feeling is temporary. You can get through it. Please, if you are considering harming yourself, reach out. Find a counselor, talk to a friend or family member who you trust, and know that there are always people available to talk to you and help you when you are struggling. Here's the national hotline for the U.S. You can call this number at any time to talk to someone who is ready to help you. You can also text HOME, H-O-M-E, to 741-741 to talk with someone through text. Okay, that is all for today. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful and informative. If so, please take a moment to like the video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to drop a note in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, tell me. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, you are not alone, and you are loved. And as Christopher Robin says, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Take care.